with Master. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Lalaa Shepard checking in, and this is the progress report, and I got my very special guest of the day, DJ Burnwin. What's going on?
Living the dream every day.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get right into it. As a producer, how do you know when to start charging people, and how do you break out of that homeboy prices and homeboy business?
I think you gotta give a lot away free at first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta pay your dues, and you know what I'm saying? But I mean, there's a line. You know what I'm saying? Once I feel like you've kind of established yourself and, you know, got maybe a record going or put out some projects that people care about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, you can start charging as soon as people will buy it. You know, like, that's the real shit. Like, as soon as somebody will pay you for a beat, you know, then you're ready. You know what I'm saying? And it's also, you know, you are what you negotiate. So it's like, if you don't ask for nothing, you're not going to get paid. You know, it's like, that's just very simple, you know?
Okay.
So I always tell people, you know, at least something, unless you're totally new. You know, if you're totally new, pay some dues, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Learn something, because you're probably not ready to,
That is
you know?
true. Right.
Like, I did beats for a whole year when I first started making beats, because I was DJing first.
Mm-hmm.
I made beats for a whole year and then playing for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, I got to put in my time to get the
For
sound
sure.
I want out. You know, like, people think they're ready so quick now.
That's true.
I'm
That's
like,
true.
yo, you know, pay some dues. You know what I'm saying? Do some sessions. Like, have somebody yell at you. You know, it's like,
No, that's true.
learn something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, get some real world experience.
Absolutely.
You know? Like, you making beats in your crib is tight, but also, like, learning how to collaborate and how to be cool in the studio, not be fucking bothering people and just doing, like, weirdo shit. Like, a lot of people, being cool will get you so far in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Be about your business, but be cool. You know, like, if you see somebody like, damn, it's Future, da-da-da, don't rush the man. He's been rushed so much.
It's about timing.
He probably rushed 10 times at the gas station, everywhere else. You look
sure.
like just a fan and somebody who he does not want to collaborate with. You know? Like, the whole thing is you have to make people come to you.
Absolutely.
You know, like, when I first started doing tracks and we got together, we put out a project called The Ashtray. I was like, man, people still don't know how to do beats. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what do I need to do? So we put out an album called The Ashtray. And all the industry people were like, oh, you're just giving away beats for free, and shitty rappers are going to end up on it, which, you know, a little bit. But, like, people still to this day will send me freestyles over. And they still be like, man, I used to smoke and ride to that shit, just freestyle me and my homies. So it's like, we almost did, like, a public service, just giving people just good vibes to live with. And that brought goodwill back around, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why ASAP came and fucked with us. You know, I did 2 tracks on ASAP's first album, and Freddie Gibbs and all these other people, you know, but it was just like putting in that initial work, you know?
No, definitely. I feel what you're saying. I mean, me, honestly, I love to ride around with just listening to beats anyway. So, you know, I definitely appreciated that joint, for sure. So what does music mean to DJ Burnwin?
It's like, what do they say? It's interior design for life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's everywhere now, you know? It's like my homie says, like, our albums, he'll just cook to him. My homie Chef Marlo. Shout out Chef Marlo.
Yeah, shout out to Chef Marlo.
He just says, he'll just hit me randomly. Like, man, I'll just be cooking to your albums. You know, so it's tight. To me, it's like, if you want to engage with it, especially instrumentals like that we put out, because we've dropped probably about 5 or 6 albums. It's like, if you want to engage with it and pay attention, you could be like, oh, these are neat little whatever. But if you just want to be on the background and just something you could just have going on, like classical music in a fucking, you know what I'm saying, lobby, you can do that too, you know? It's like, you choose how you want to take it. I look at Brian Eno a lot for inspiration. He did like YouTube. He was like, he started ambient music, you know? It's like, he had an album called Music for Airports. It's just like, if you want to listen to it, cool. If you just want to put that shit on the background and just have it be a vibe that, you know what I'm saying, radiates through the house. Like, I look at music and vibes, like frequencies and tones and stuff, you know?
Okay, cool. Now, so does being a white man ever shock people? And speak on racism in America. How do you feel about it?
Great question. I'm half Mexican, actually. My mom's Mexican.
Interesting.
Everybody thinks I'm white, though, so I might as well be white, I guess.
Okay, cool. Okay.
At first, I've never cared what nobody said about me. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until later that people told me that people were hating on me because I was white. They were like, man, these talk so much shit about you here and da-da-da. I'm like, why? Like, just because you were white. I was like, all right. But it's like, 9 times out of 10, I know way more about rap than these people trying to clown me, yo. I know too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know too much. I've been a student of the game. Like, I was a DJ and a fan of music before that. So it's like my library, encyclopedia of music is just like very broad. So it's like when somebody tries to be like, oh, you don't know about, you know, I remember riding with Mac Bone and AK and I had like Player G playing in the car. Like, how the fuck do you know about this rare ass Memphis shit? I'm like, bro, I grew up on Memphis shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all the shit that people think you don't know about. I'm like, this is what raised me, you know?
Word.
So it's like, you know, I think there's always like certain limitations, but I just feel like you just can't pay attention to them. You know, you can be cognizant of it. You know,
Right.
like if I didn't know anything, then I'd be like, well, shit, I need to learn. You know,
True.
It's like you got to be self-aware at the same time. But
Absolutely. So what's your stance on racism in America? Because, I mean, to a certain extent, you experience it too then. If people are kind of discriminating against you for being a different color than what, you know, we're typically used to when you are very influential in the hip-hop community. So speak about your experience.
yeah, I think that shit sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like all around, sexism, racism, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
all the way around, like looking at anybody for anything other than as a human is just whack, you know?
Right.
But it does exist, you know? So I feel like you have to be cognizant of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know, if you're black, you're going to have to work harder. You know what I'm saying?
True.
If you're a black woman, you're going to have to work even harder. You know what I'm saying? These are facts.
Right. No, that's true, though.
I'm not
It's
saying
real
no lies,
shit.
you know? So it's like being cognizant of that, knowing you're going to have to fight. And it's like going in with the mindset of like, all right, you already know what you're going to expect. You know, when I worked
Right,
a couple
that's
little shitty jobs, you learn to anticipate the customers. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's like when somebody would yell at me or something, I'm like, that's on you, not me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like self-awareness or whatever. But it's like if you expect that you're going to come up against some stuff and you know you're going to have to put your head through it, then to me it eases it a little bit. But,
True.
you know, just
Makes
certain
sense.
opportunities aren't open to certain people and stuff like that. So it's fucked up. I think things are better than they've been, but they still got like a long way to go.
Absolutely. Agreed. So speak on the role of a DJ and a correlation between that and social media. Because, you know, now we got a lot of artists that think social media is the only route that they have to go. But, you know, I deal with DJs too, and I feel like it's important that you are hands-on and that you got to touch DJs, in my opinion. But what is your opinion on that?
DJs for a while were the only source. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And then blogs came out and they're like, oh, we got blogs. And now you got playlists on like Apple Music and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it's really opened up, you know? It's like, you just got to figure out like what's for what. Because now people are playing the role of DJ. With Twitter being so big, somebody
That
could
is
post up a
true.
funny video with a song.
Right.
And that shit go viral. And you'd be like, damn, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, it just blows up. So I think it's just being open to different ways of pushing music and different things, you know?
Okay.
Like, sync is a big thing that we've been working on the past 4 years.
Gotcha.
Like, getting stuff in music. Like, getting music in TV shows and
Right.
movies and video games and shit like that. You know, that's a whole other avenue, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, there's so many different ways. So, not saying DJs aren't as important, but just things have changed. Like, the power.
That is
just
true.
like radio used to be the only thing that mattered.
Right.
You know, like, if you're playing on radio.
Right.
But now it's like Apple Playlist is almost more valuable than getting spins and, you know,
Okay.
terrestrial radio.
Right.
Satellite radio. Like, it's just spread out. You got to cover your bases now. You know?
Right. True. Definitely true. So I definitely agree. I think it's important to have every aspect covered, but I feel like people should not skip or feel like they should skip one before the other.
Yeah, and then figure out where the audience that you want is.
That is true.
You know, like if you make great strip club songs, you might want to go to the strip club and do some hand-to-hand and
Right,
get your face out
right.
there.
Definitely.
You know, if you're doing a little more cerebral or something different or it's more of a visual thing, you might want to focus on the internet and getting your
Right.
videos right, you know?
That's true.
It's like, be smart, you know, be self-aware, understand what
Absolutely.
your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and like where can you, you know, work on your strengths.
Word. Okay, now I know you are definitely responsible for breaking the careers of several artists and helping them out in the early, you know, stages of their careers. What is it about DJ Burn One that people trust or that artists trust? Why do they trust you with their careers and with their music and their past?
I love getting in early, and I love finding artists before they pop and helping them get over that hump, you know? So it's like meeting a YelaWolf or a Gucci Mane or Pill or Freddie Gibbs. Or, you know what I'm saying? These people like just try to find ways I can enhance what they're already doing.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So like with Gucci, I was like, this guy is just funny.
Yeah.
You know, like
Definitely.
I met him before, so Icy came out, you know, he had the Black Tea remix.
Right.
And he played me that song, and I was like, you're just funny, dog. Like,
Right.
and you're talking about robbing people, but you're still funny.
True,
Like,
true.
this is
Definitely.
unheard of.
But
Like,
it's
I've never
funny.
heard of, it's
Yeah.
like you're talking about some real shit, but you're like coding it in a way that
Right.
makes it like palatable,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
It's like you go laugh at a Will Ferrell movie, him doing something
True.
really fucked up, but you're like, it's just funny, you know?
Right.
But, yeah, it's just, I think coming in, I just try to make sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to overstep my boundaries. I'm not like, oh, let me be this, that, and the other. It's just
Right.
like, damn, where can I see myself fitting in? A lot of times it's doing mixtapes. Sometimes it's doing production, you know? Like my first project I fully produced was Starlito's Renaissance Gangster. He's like one of my favorite rappers.
Word.
That was like just the right combination, you know? So it's like different artists require different things.
Absolutely.
And it's like finding out like, all right, identifying the strengths and weaknesses and like what can I help out? And then luckily I've been right on a couple things, you know? So it
Right.
like kind of worked out. So,
True.
you know, now you got the track record and I can build off that, you know, for the next
Word.
phase that we're about to do.
Okay. What happened to Peel, by the way? 'Cause I like Peel.
I think when he signed with MMG, it just
Okay.
wasn't a good fit. You
Gotcha.
know what I'm saying? Because he was
Okay.
moving. And I find that with a lot of artists when they sign,
True.
If the vibe ain't right, shit just stops to where
True.
they were moving before. So I mean, it's still dope. I just saw him the other day. He's still good. You know.
That's good to hear because I didn't know.
I know for a while, but I just saw him at the Run the Jewels concert the other day.
Okay.
That was pretty tight.
Cool. That's what's up. Well, shout out to Peel. So what is an entrepreneur in your opinion, and how can someone be an entrepreneur in the music business?
Find your lane. You know, provide a service, like be of service. Do something that people need, you know? Like we're doing a lot of samples right now. I feel like music producers are so used to
True.
You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. That's totally cool. But what about some shit in reverse? What about some real instruments sampled and fucked up and you know, like these different frequencies. So I just feel like that's doing well for us right now because that's something people need. They need these different tones and vibes. You know, they got the drums, they got the hard ass 808, you know? But it's like they don't have something to vibe, you know?
Okay.
So it's like I feel like anybody, if you can find something that you can bring to the game and then put a price on it, you know? Like, if they're paying it for you, then you're an entrepreneur, you know? If ain't nobody paying it for you, you're a entrepreneur or something, you know? Like, just a wannabe, you know?
True.
And then a lot of times it's going to take you failing a couple times, you know? I've tried fucking everything. I've tried management, fucking everything. I'm not even going to go down the list, you know what I'm saying? Some A&R work, everything. But it's just like where I'm at now, I feel like this is the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? Doing production, doing these samples. We do sound design for like Hollywood movie trailers.
Okay.
Just spreading it out. You know, we're doing some more score work. Like we did Snow on the Bluff.
Right.
We did the score for that.
Word.
Just stretching it out.
Cool. So how much weed does DJ Burn one smoke?
Enough. Smoke before I got here. I smell it in the air. I was about to see if y'all had some.
Oh, man. I smell it too.
It's the medicine, you know. It's not a drug, you know.
Word.
It's not a drug.
No,
like that's the thing
that.
I hate. Like even calling it weed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a beautiful flower.
Gotcha.
There's no difference than any other flower. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
Except if you smoke it, you feel better. You know.
Word. Most definitely. I am pro weed. I got Bob Marley tatted, so I'm definitely pro.
Yes, to weed.
So could you give us some tips for getting re-motivated back into music? Because I know sometimes, you know, with personal life, it interferes with business and it can definitely take a toll on you. I've definitely been there before where I definitely got, you know, I was just not motivated to do this anymore. But luckily, you know, I've been around a lot of dope artists and people and they got me re-motivated. So can you give people tips for getting back into it if they ever catch themselves getting, you know, out of their mindset?
I say get around people that have a similar vision, that have similar goals, that are similarly inspired, you know? Because, like, I got two production partners, Walt Live and Go Ricky Go, and we're always constantly, like, passing the ball and just, like, sending each other, like, YouTube tutorials or album to listen to or a video to watch or just some random, I don't know, old shit. Yeah, just any type of inspiration, but we're always just feeding each other.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if any of us is ever low, it's always one of us there to pick each other up, you know?
Right.
So it's like, I feel like that's kind of invaluable.
Most definitely.
Like if you're solo, you getting a wreck, that shit's tough.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You could be in your own
definitely.
head, like, fucking, oh man, nobody wants me, I can't do this. And, you know, it's like, nah, you know, focus on what matters, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you actually making dope shit? Okay, cool. Well, if you got dope shit, then you need to figure out, you know? Like I said, maybe you need to find some individuals. If you're a producer, to me, a big thing is find an artist to work with. Find somebody that makes your beat sound better than they are, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a good place to start, you know?
True.
So it's just figuring out, like, you have power. It's just figuring out which way to go. Because a lot of people just want and wish and hope, and they don't actually have a plan. I'm not big on setting goals or nothing like that. But it's just like, I just want certain things. And so I'm willing to do anything that crosses the path, you know what I'm saying, that fits in there to get me to that.
Definitely, I agree. I really hate when people ask me, where do I see myself in 5 years? I
hate
don't
that
fucking
question.
know. I mean, you know what I mean?
Hopefully,
I'm doing what I love to do, but I really feel like that's the most awkward
it's
question.
like, hey, getting great music.
Right.
You're making great music, you know?
It's so
like,
awkward. But yeah. So, how do you know when you have an ear for music? Like, I really feel like I have an ear for music. I feel like I can spot it. I know I can spot it. So I know I have the ear, but like, I come across people sometimes, they want to be in a music business, but they'll play me music, and I don't feel like it's the music that's, you know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say. So how do you know that you have an ear for music?
I don't know. A lot of people don't have honesty around them. You know what I'm saying? They got friends and family like, oh, that's a song. It sounds like something on the radio. You know, it's just like, you know, it's like get around people who are doing shit that you want to do and play it for people that you respect. You know what I'm saying? For their taste, you know? And then it's like, it's show and prove. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did so many mixtapes and proved that I had solid taste. You know what I'm saying? I never was like, listen to me, listen to my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I'm doing.
For sure.
You should listen to me, random guy. And they're like, well, what have you done? And you're like, nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, put out a playlist now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be drop a mixtape. Now it's like, shit, work with the artist. You know what I'm saying? If you work with somebody and they blow up, even if you're not still a part of that, people will still see you as, like, damn, he was around when it popped. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did some things, like, maybe he could work for me, you know?
Absolutely.
I get a lot of work from people like, oh, I heard this old this or old that or whatever, you know?
Okay.
They're like, damn, what'd you do with that? And I tell them, like, shit, that's something I'm looking for, you know?
Word. So, grind or talent?
Both. It's all about balance.
Okay.
It's all about the balance. You can have either or, and it's not going to help you.
Word.
Actually, having a grind will be way more beneficial than being tight with music.
So, grind.
We've seen the Mike Jones of the world.
True.
Not bad, but he was way better at marketing than everybody else in Houston.
Absolutely.
That's why he was the most known one. Like, there were plenty other dope rappers. But it's like, you knew Mike Jones, Series 1 330. I still remember the fucking number. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had that right grind. And now it's like finding those right tactics. You know what I'm saying? Like, finding the right way to get your message across because there's so much music out. Absolutely. So now the task is like, it's a free game, but now you got to figure out how you're going to cut through. What's going to be your lane? You know, are you going to get a song in a television placement in an ad? That shit works. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, like I said, it's covering all your bases. You know?
Okay, cool. Mixtapes or albums?
Albums now. I'm doing albums now.
Okay.
It's just like the game's changed. You know, like I used to drive around the city when I got off school when I was in high school and just sell mixtapes. Put them on consignment, go back around a couple days later, pick up my money, drop some more off, you know? The game's changed. There's like 2 CD stores in Atlanta right now. So sad. Shout out to Super Sounds, CD store I used to work at. You know, they still got a Greenbrier and a Decatur location. But there's like maybe 3. You know what I'm saying? 3 to 4. So it's just different. You know, people are looking for their music in different ways. So you just gotta like move around and adapt. It really is adapt or die because it's changing so much. You just have to follow where it's going. I heard a great analogy the other day. This guy Ron Fair talking about the difference between music's distributed now. He was like, imagine that you make leather seats, you know what I'm saying, like saddles for horses, you know, like the finest ones, and then you know they come out with a car. You're like, fuck. You can either fight it or you can make leather car seats. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you gonna do? It's like you gotta adapt to the game. There's so much changing with technology, but there's more music than ever. You know, people are finally finding ways to capitalize off the way the game is changing, you know, like with streaming and shit. It's still not the same, but we're learning. Things are adapting, you know? True. So it's like, you just gotta keep your eyes open. Like, if you want to be in the music business, pay attention. Follow Billboard. You know what I'm saying? Follow these certain, like, music sources that, like, give you the game. Pay attention, you know? Like, there's a lot of stuff people could just, like, do to educate themselves past just wanting to do music. That's why people get taken as a joke. Like, I don't take somebody seriously until they're really playing me some dope shit or they're talking about something they know about. Like, people say you want to do music, that's cool. Show me something. You know what I'm saying? Show me something. I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to hear you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of times if you're talking to somebody in the industry and you don't know what you're talking about, they can spot you like that. Like, people think they're slick with the bullshit. But you're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, what is this guy talking about? You know, like, clearly none of this makes even any sense. You know, so it's like, educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be informed. It's like, knowledge is power. Inform yourself. And YouTube has everything. Shout out to YouTube University. Shout out to
YouTube, for real.
Spend many hours a day on YouTube. So much information. Like, shit. I'm learning mixing tips. I'm learning production stuff. I'm learning all types of stuff. I'm watching old documentaries. I'm doing everything on there for free. Like, people don't have no excuse no more. You know? Like, you don't have to go to the library. You don't have to leave. You can do it on your phone. You can have a flip phone and watch some of this shit. You know? It's like, take advantage of the things you do have. Don't think about the shit you don't have.
That's true. I like YouTube too because you can multitask. You can like do another task and still listen. You know what I mean? So shout out to YouTube. So who are your top 5 rappers, dead or alive?
Damn.
I know.
Damn.
Yeah, it's tough.
Gotta put Tupac. I'm gonna put Outkast as a group. People always try to say Andre, but bro, Big Boy was busting on them early albums. Like, I didn't recognize it till I went to a sound check one day and he was rapping. What song? It was some song, and I was like, he's really rapping all this shit. Not missing a breath, not missing a word. And like compared to how we watch rappers today, people showing up fucked up to the show, not getting the words right, not hitting their points. It's like you gotta appreciate the technician. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's mastered his craft. So I put them both in there.
That's two.
Damn. I can't get you a definitive list right now.
Okay.
I can't do it. There's just so many. You know. It's so many.
It is.
It's so many. Yeah, I don't even want to get to it because I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to see the YouTube comments. Be like, he put
right. For
whoever in there. Like T.I. is definitely
blank.
my top 5.
Okay, that's 3.
I don't know. I might put DJ Paul and Juicy J.
Okay.
That's just the shit I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I don't care about nothing because that's what people get hung up on, the technical shit. And I respect the technician, but no, if you feel something, that matters more than anything. And I just grew up on 360 Mafia. Like, them talking shit about the people that used to be on the label was the best shit. Like, that was so funny. Like,
Definitely.
It was entertaining. I used to love it. It's just like now you got people like Ugly God.
Right.
Like we got 2 joints on his album. We've been doing sample replays for him.
Gotcha.
So we got some stuff on his album, but like it's just fun, funny.
Right.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? People fight the youth, but it's like we had the same shit.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We had the same shit.
Definitely.
There's certain things I listen to now, I'm like solo quality, whatever, but it was just good. Like I loved it, you know?
The vibes.
Yeah,
it's
all the vibe. Like the technical stuff matters, but it's just like the vibe is way more important.
Like 3-6 Mafia, what I appreciated most was their production. Like they had the best production. I mean,
beats right now sound like 3-6 Mafia. Everybody with the 16 note.
For sure.
Like that was so every 3-6 Mafia song that was there.
For sure.
Like I feel like this whole generation grew up on 3-6 Mafia.
Absolutely.
You know, like Metro, give them credit. You know, it's like I feel like the ones that are really doing it like pay the proper respects.
For sure, you have to. So, what are your thoughts on this year's XXL list?
I really don't care. I really don't care because the list is that was just like me at, you know what I'm saying, naming my top 5 rappers. It's totally opinion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's so many other things that go into it.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like are there more deserving people? Probably, but everybody there's doing their thing. What are you gonna say about them? You know?
It's true.
Like I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? I might not listen to all of them or whatever.
Right.
But there's so much stuff for everybody. It's just one list. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just somebody's opinion. It's stuff for people to debate and have fun with. You know what I'm saying? It's like talk about their favorite basketball player.
True.
You're like, oh, I like Kobe. You're like, no, but LeBron will D him up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just kind of like one of those things to me now. It's almost like sports discussions and stuff, you know?
Right. True. Okay. Definitely. So, what is good music and what can good music do for you? I remember, you know, it was, it's been over 10 years since the Chicken Talk came out. And that's probably when I first got introduced to your production. And I just remember, I just always like Gucci. Gucci's probably one of my top 5, honestly. But, you know, just hearing the I Heards, the Rain Man, and of course the Swing My Door, that's my shit. Still to this day, classic, and it's been over 10 years. So, what is good music and what can good music do for you?
I actually didn't produce anything on there. I just hosted his tape. The Chicken Talk.
Really?
Yeah. My tag was on there because I was putting my tag on all my mixtapes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No, Zaytoven and Born. Born did Swing My Door.
Born.
Okay. He's from Bankhead. He did a bunch of stuff like
that's crazy.
And stuff like that.
Okay, so you hosted the
Yeah. I put it all together. You know what I'm saying? Pick the songs and
but you still had to say so in the process. Okay,
absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
It was definitely collaborative, but I just wasn't even doing beats at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
I was still just on tape.
Word.
What was the actual question though? I'm sorry.
Define what good music is and what can good music do for you?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know? So it's like it's whatever you want it to be, you know?
True.
Some people they hear Uzi Vert, they're just like, yo, this shit speaks to my soul. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, that's a beautiful thing. If that's how it hits you, you know what I'm saying?
True.
I like the new record he's got, you know what I'm saying? That shit's super tight.
I like it too.
It's a great song. But it's just like some of the older cats just don't get it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's whatever you feel. It's whatever you feel. Like, I'm not the biggest J. Cole fan, but certain people are just like diehard J. Cole fans.
Absolutely.
I can't discredit that. That's how they feel.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to get off my music snobbery. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I only listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's like, yo, I can listen to Outkast and really enjoy it, and I can listen to Tommy Wright III from Memphis, which is the most busted down beats. You know what I'm saying? But it's just raw. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can appreciate different things for different reasons. You know? Yeah. And so I think people are just the same way. You gotta, if somebody really focuses on something, you gotta respect it. You know? Like, Bubba Sparks used to always tell me, if anybody goes platinum, you have to respect that. Because it touched a million people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it touched a million people.
Right.
You can say however you feel about it. It don't matter.
Right.
You know? So I was kind of backed off my opinion unless people ask for it, you know?
Okay. So how do you work with a stubborn artist that you really believe in?
I don't know if it works. Okay. You know, I work with a couple and I love them to death. A couple I love to death. But it's like, if you are not open to criticism and wanting to be better truly and wanting to do different things and be original, it's going to be tough.
Right.
It's gonna be tough, you know. You can be, you know, at a certain point, I just get like, I cannot help the situation anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I just back off. You know, certain times, certain things, you know, they do listen. But I found if you go under the assumption that you don't know, you know, as an artist, and be open, you're always gonna do better for it. You know, like if you think you know and you're not really getting money off it yet, you're in a bad spot.
That's true.
You're in a bad spot. You know. So I think just being open is the key.
Okay.
And like I said, knowing what you need to bring to the table, because everything's different, you know?
Yeah.
Some people pick great beats, but need help with the hooks. Or some people can't pick a beat, and you're like, let me pick the beat stuff. Right. You know, it's like, it's just finding what certain artists need and how to take advantage of that, you know.
Right.
And sometimes it don't work, and sometimes it's just like, you know, it's just a certain time in life, you know. Me and Gucci were working hard for like a year and a half. We don't really work together no more. That's fine. It was just a great time. We did good work. We made an impact. Now it's time to keep it moving, you know.
True.
It's like, never be salty about some shit, you know. It's like there's always something better coming.
Of course.
If you're working.
Of course. Could you give us any insights about the upcoming Gucci Mane autobiography?
Oh yeah, I do have some stuff in there. I told a couple tales.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what's gonna make it in there.
Okay.
But I just told a whole bunch of stories of, you know, back when we were working on Chicken Talk and just different like funny stories. I told a bunch of real life shit. You know what I'm saying? Like some real life shit that actually happened. So I'll be interested to see what they actually use, because I told it all. I told it all. I was like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, it was a good time. But I feel like just telling the truth about shit is the best thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, honesty is always the best policy. I feel like that'll relate. You know, if a couple of stories made it in there, people might be like, damn, that shit's real. You know what I'm saying?
Most def.
But it was a fun time. You know, I'm glad it's coming out. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Most def. Speak on the importance of not giving up, and how do you know when you're truly working hard?
What Kanye West say? He said giving up's way harder than trying. It's like, to me, it's exhausting doing nothing.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just sitting there thinking in my thoughts. Like, to me, I hate that shit. I'd rather be working and like doing anything to create forward progress, you know? So it's like, you just gotta think about that, you know? If you're not motivated, there's certain people that just want to do music, but they're not motivated enough to do it. You're not gonna make it. You're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've put so much shit on the back burner to make this happen.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, blowing up all my plan Bs.
Right.
Just because I know me personally, I don't want to fall back.
Right.
I want to push myself and be like, you have nothing else to do but this. You know, other people are different. They can work a job and do their shit at night and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to know your personality type.
Absolutely.
I had to like blow up all my other options. Blow them all up and be like, all right, what am I, you know what I'm saying? What am I really going to do? Music. Fuck, what am I going to do in music? I don't know, I'm DJing, I'm doing this right now.
Right.
Shit, let me just learn about some other shit and try it all out, you know? Try some A&R, try some managing, try some, you know, production, try sound design. It's like, it's just trial and error, you know?
Right. Definitely. So what are some of the things that you teach your children, and how can we raise a better generation of people?
Be a good person. I tell my daughter all the time when she does something, I'm like, would you want them to do that to you? No, then don't do it. It's a golden rule. The golden rule is a golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. If everybody acted like that, the world would be a beautiful place.
I agree.
And then it already is beautiful, you know what I'm saying? But it's a couple people on the me, ego shit. Fuck it up for the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the music industry is a beautiful thing. But a lot of people get down because there's so much fake shit in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, see it for the beauty that it is. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Understand what you're getting into. You know? But it's all perspective.
Gotcha. So what does DJ Burnwell want out of the game, and what's next for you?
I'm ready to go on a run. I feel like with these samples and some of the projects we got coming out, like, shit's about to go crazy. Because we've been working with like Spin, C-Note, 30 Rock, a bunch of different dope producers. And I just feel like once those records start hitting, we're about to go on a crazy run. Because I know our tones and the music and the samples is just so fresh. Just because when I play it for people, like, yo, this shit's different, you know? And when they flip it and do their thing to it, it just is beautiful. I'm like, I can't wait till some of this stuff gets out.
For sure.
What's up? This is DJ Burnwell. I'm rocking with Lalaa and the Progress Report.